Hello, hello, and welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the Simpit. I'm BaBaBoothie, and we are once again here for another Oval Series race. This time we are again at a road course. I know somebody was asking earlier in the chat, but we will have that changed up. We will be back on ovals. I think there's might be one more road track in the season, but primarily ovals for the rest here. And this time we're at Charlotte. Welcome, welcome, guys. Appreciate you guys coming to hang out. Hi, Bucho. How you doing? Deadman, Jason, Metal, and Damon, if you're kicking around, thank you guys for coming to hang out. I appreciate you very much. I'll do my best to keep my eye on chat as we get rolling here. Once again for a Friday night broadcast. Just making sure we're fully situated. Everybody's gridding up. Let's take a look at the field so far. So we have, once again, Mark Michkowski out on pole with a 120.144. Wayne Roberts is in second with a 122.75. Third place is Anthony Morano Jr. with a 124.75. Joe Hildinger and Ronald Carinci bring out your fourth and fifth. David Clymer, Sean Cole, Chris Generelli, David Blair, and Jerry Watson for the rest of the top 10. The remaining cars on grid include Lonnie Jameson, Matt Wagner, Brandon Clark, Rob Melnick, Christopher Melton, and Brandon Skinner. 14 cars on the grid, so it's a fairly small field, which is kind of expected. This being a road series, or a road race rather, in the Oval Series, and these cars being particularly difficult in road situations. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything's going well this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves, had some good times. Is important, you know. Alright, and final check. Looks like overlays are all good. You guys have on the top left your standings. Bottom left, you will see the flags. And then if you look as we go and the battles get going, you'll see on the top right a kind of battle box to let you know times and sectors as well for the drivers. As we look through the different cars, here we go. It's going to start them in a bit of an odd spot in the chicane, I believe, for some of these guys. So it's going to be difficult. Let's take a look back through the field real quick. My chat sorted here, so we're not in the way ahead. My chat in front of our relative. Well done, Booth. Well done. Alright, Mark Michkowski. Same car as always. Running number 18 in first position. Again, Wayne Roberts following in second behind him. Tony's right in behind them. And the usual Chrome 323 in third. Got one of the buddies trying to warm up their tires, keep them going. Going to be a scary first lap, I'd imagine, through them chicanes. We are at the newer rescan of Charlotte, so it is marginally better than the old one. At least it's not as bumpy. Looks like we have 14 cars that are actually starting. There we go. Count is in. Christopher Melton bringing up the rear. Brandon Skinner, Brandon Carl, Lonnie Jameson, Jerry Watson, David Blair, Chris Generelli, Sean Cole, David Clymer, Ronald Carinci, Joe Hildinger, Anthony Morano Jr., Wayne Roberts, and again Mark Michkowski in pole as we come through the oval, getting ready to start. Watching for the Porsche to pull off. I did something a little bit different with our cameras this time, so things should go a little smoother. You don't have to jump through as many. You guys will have to let me know if you even notice the difference, and if you do, how you think it's going. But we'll keep an eye up top here. And here we go through one of the chicanes. There was a layout change for anybody that practiced this week, unfortunately. The wrong layout was listed with the tighter chicane, and that chicane's just too difficult for these cars, so they switched it last minute tonight. So some of the drivers are going to be having an interesting time, I would assume, as we line up here. Let's give ourselves a roll bar rather and take a couple cars back so we can watch our start from the inside of Joe Hildinger in fourth position. We can see our podium there. Car is in. Jonathan Packham, thank you for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Welcome to the crew, Jonathan. This is the Simpit, and we're a go. Michkowski looks like he's got a pretty good start. Let's move ourselves back into the exterior and watch as the cars come through the first turn. Everybody seems to be straightening out fairly nicely here. No big accidents. Let's move back up to our leaders. Keep an eye on things. Michkowski with a 1.2 second lead coming in through the infield of the course here. Wayne Roberts, second position, and Anthony Morano holding third. Joe Hildinger still in fourth with a good gap. Kind of building here. We'll see as we come through the little hilly section here and back onto the oval how these guys stack up. Michkowski comes out with about a 1.5 seconds and gaining on second position. Wayne Roberts. Morano's back 2 seconds from that. Hildinger again 3 seconds now to fourth place. Fifth place is our man Clymer. Kyle Murphy. Hello, Kyle. What's up, buddy? Ronald Carinci followed closely behind by Sean Cole. We're going to be watching for some battles. I'm looking for guys that are close here. You guys can check out Sean Cole's perspective as always. Twitch.tv/SimpitLive. If you want to go take a look, you can watch Sean's interior. I'm sure he's going to be super frustrated with this track. We know how he feels about these cars at road courses. Everybody lining up pretty good here. Move back through the field a little bit, and then we'll move back up and check on our leaders again. Cross onto lap 2, 30 here at the Charlotte Road Course. Plenty of distance so far, nothing crazy going on. We're going to be watching, I think, for more for tires wearing out and things of that nature. This is where the track tightens up, so we're going to watch here with our back runners just in case. Brandon Carl, as we calls him, following in behind now. 14th position behind Christopher. Pull ourselves back up the field and see how we're doing back on the oval. I think everybody was spaced out pretty good. Looking pretty fine. The only 2 positions we've seen is David Clymer gaining 1, Ronald down, and Skinner's up 3 with Lonnie down 1. There's a couple people moving around, but nothing crazy just yet. Michkowski now about 0.7 to a second ahead of our man Robertson second as we come into the chicane to cross the line once again. Now lap 3 of 30 for the Simpit crew. If you guys want to join these races, make sure you check out at the beginning of the season. We do accept any applicant up until the first season. The only people with how you would call priority would be the Simpit patrons, as well as the members of the last week. So these guys running it here today, and the Simpit patrons. Alright, things are going to tighten up again. Let's take a look. We'll watch Clymer, I think. He's the one that's gained a position so far. We'll watch and see how he's dealing with Joe here. Moved up to 5th position. Skinner's up 4 in the back, but we'll take a look at him as well as we come back over. 6 tenths. Yeah. I don't think he'll be gaining. Let's move ourselves back. Our man Sean Cole. We're running in 7th position at the moment. David Notair's Blair is up 1. Having passed Chris Generelli. There's Brandon Skinner up 4. Might be worth taking an eye at. As we come in through a bit of a bus stop. Look back, take a look. Lonnie Jameson, Jerry Watson, and Brandon Carl is back to 13th. Christopher Melton now farther back. Must have had a little bit of a spin out there, unfortunately. We'll take a look at our leader once again, now a 1.5 seconds ahead. Mark Michkowski coming in through T1. Doing real well. I'd imagine he's just going to be trying to conserve tires. We'll have to see how the strategy is on this one. Anthony up 1 somewhere in that lap. We'll have to take a look and see. All of these guys. It must be in the chicane. Oh, there we go. Clymer on the inside. Wayne Roberts on the outside. And behind them, the number 15 of Ronald Carinci holding on the inside, with Sean Cole looking to make a move also. The 25 of Joe Hildinger getting held out on the outside. Going to lose a few positions on that one. Sean also going to gain 1. That's going to put Sean in the top 5, I believe. There's ourselves back up. Climber got a 1.5 second lead just about on Ronald, holding down 4th position. Moving back, we got Ronald Carenzi followed closely behind by Sean Cole. Let's see if Cole goes for any passes early on here, or if he's going to opt to stay in behind as we come through the chicane. Sean getting a little bit loose, going back onto the oval. Coming to the final chicane. Sean's now a second back. Again, you can watch his perspective Simpit live on twitch.tv. It's twitch.tv/Simpit live. Concold now on the inside. There you go. Capitalizing on a mistake there, I believe. Joe's also going to jump on the inside there, knowing that if he holds it, he's definitely going to gain on him, having been the one stuck on the outside last time. Climber's still holding strong there. He's got a pretty good gap with these guys fighting. Sean Cole now leading the pack behind. 4th position? 5th position. Quick look at our leaders. Anthony actually getting pretty close behind now, having gotten by Wayne. We'll have to watch and see if he actually manages to get the attack on. It would be really good to see a battle between these leaders here. So far, not a heck of a lot happening. We must have had a bit of a mistake on an exit or something like that we missed when we were watching Sean back there. We might have a bit of a battle for the lead here out of these 3. It's all going to depend on Mark and managing those tires. And these cars are extremely hard to drive. Hey, wasted. Blame me, I didn't remind you. We had chats today, I could have said something. I think I accept it. To an in-car view and take a look on our chase here with Tony moving behind Mark in 2nd position. We're now coming to the close of our 6th lap out of 30. These guys here at the Charlotte Road Course. Again, this is the Simpit Oval Series. And generally when we're on ovals, there's more of a turnout. Surprise, surprise. But there was a lot of oval courses, or road courses rather, thrown into this season just to kind of shake things up. Like Mark getting a pretty strong exit from that chicane there. Ronald's holding up, right about a second behind. Wayne Roberts a second in behind him. Let's see if those 3 are battling back there that were before. David Climber falling back on the top 3 actually. I believe he was 3 seconds back initially. Looks like Sean Cole's gained some time on him as well. We could see Sean and Climber in a battle at some point in time. Hildinger, 6th position, and this group seemingly spaced out. Ronald Carenzi in 7th there. Across our start finish line now on lap 7. David No Tires Blair up a position for 8th. Brandon Skinner up 5 for 9th, doing well. David Blair and Brandon Skinner love story continues. Hopefully these guys get into a fight. We know they like to race to each other. Looking at our times, we have a 24.5 out of Skinner and a 24.2 out of Blair, so at the moment it's not going to happen. We'll have to watch. Move ourselves back. Lonnie Jameson up 1 for 10th. Gary Watson running his fastest time. In 11th there, he's only down 1, so he could definitely still make some ground up. Brandon Carl, oh no. Definitely touched a wall at some point in time. Crumpled up on the right-hand side. Christopher Melton in 13. It looks like Generali's opted to hit the pits as we move back to our leaders. Here we are, Mark Michkowski still a second ahead on Tony. And coming through the final chicane to cross the line on lap 7. Let's see what his time is here as he comes across. We are looking at a 126. 478 aiming on the winner and back with a 126.796 and 126.271 for Wayne Roberts, making ground on Tony for that lap. Measure, welcome. Hello, hello. And indeed, go Sean, go. Doing fairly decent so far, up 2 positions. 23.3 to David Clymer's 24.0 that lap, so he could actually be making time on Clymer. Joe Hildinger, though, right behind Sean Cole with a 23.2, also making up time. So if we do see a battle, it could be a big one. Ronald Carinci there. Not really in distance just yet. Moving ourselves back through the field, we have Dave Blair, again up 1 for 8th, Brendan Skinner behind him. And we'll have to watch and see when they come across if their times match up a little better. Then the last lap, I think they both had clean laps, so it'll be good to watch, good to pay attention to. Brandon Carl, again, bash down, and back to our leaders. Mr. Michkowski, 1.5 seconds almost on Tony at the moment. Coming through the last chicane. Let's take a look again at everybody's times as we come across. Mark Michkowski crossing himself there in first position from the beginning till now with 1:23.592. Tony's in behind with a 1:23.744. Wayne Roberts, 1:23.75, right on the tail of Tony Morano. David Clymer with a 1:24.279. Sean Cole, 1:24.0, so I'm still making up time on Clymer. Joe Hildinger, 1:24.2. 1:25.980 out of Ronald Carinci. David Blair with a 1:24.541. Brandon with a 1:26.638 on that lap. Must have had some issues at some point there. And that means that we're not going to have any fights out of them anytime soon. But David No Tires Blair is called that for a reason. We could see if the tire thing ends up doing him in. Let's keep our eye on the legend that is Sean Cole at the moment. Again, you guys can watch his stream live, twitch.tv/Simpit Live. If you want to watch his input, he is streaming over there for these races. We just do the broadcasts. Give ourselves back up to our leaders. We're fairly close together here now. Only actually making up some ground on Mark there. Let's see, 1:24.0 out of Mark in the front, and 1:23.7 and 23.8 respectively for Tony and Wayne. They are close behind. Let's keep an eye on this little bit of a battle for a little while. Maybe in car with our man Wayne Roberts here as we come in through the infield. Fairly decently slow right-hander. It's not super sharp there. And then this one here, you're going to come through, hit your first apex, widen back out, and a late apex on this hill here, so you can get on throttle as early as possible. And I'm sure Wayne's thinking the same thing, trying to chase Morano, make sure he stays in the draft, get on throttle just a little bit earlier, try to be just a little bit more smooth as possible. But Tony's holding it strong, not to shake it all out of that rear end as we come onto the oval. Looking good, looking strong. You guys treating their tires well. Move ourselves up to Tony here. And take a look, he's now 1.3 behind Mark, so Mark's doing good again on this lap. He's found his rhythm back, whatever it was last lap. Isn't something that's sticking. Stop it! This doesn't happen as often, Kyle. Somebody on one of Sean's pit stops labeled me as BaBaBoothie and it stuck, so. This is the Simpit. I'm BaBaBoothie and we're back with another Friday night oval broadcast. Alright, Mark Michkowski leading, 1.3 ahead. Tony's in behind. Wayne's still close here, but looking like he's opting to stick behind him or he's pushing to hold him. One or the other. Taking a look back through the field, you can see Dave Blair and Brandon Skinner got a 1:26 and a 1:27 there, so Skinner's still not making up ground just yet. He is up 6 positions, though. Been doing well. Oh, Carinci having hit the pit stop. He might be out. Take a look through here in a moment as we check the times. We'll wait for the leader to cross the line. They are still fairly close together. One small mistake, and we could definitely see some fighting out of these guys. About a second separating each of them here for our top 5. To the final chicane. Mark Michkowski. Quattro Masters lap shall we do? A little bit of apex there. 123.981 out of Mark. 124.120 for Tony. 124.240 for Wayne. Climber's got a 124.659. Leader Sean Cole up in the 5th position with a 124.869, but behind him Joe Hildinger with a 24.805, so running pretty close. David Blair now crossing back there with a 125.569. Waiting on Brandon. Tony's looking real smooth here. Not really seeing any issues. Maybe a little bit of wag there, but not able to take off the ball a little hard, a little early, looking good. Skinner with a 128.5, and Jerry Watson behind him with 4. Christopher Melton still on the field with 126.890. And that's our top 10 right now. Here 12 laps in, just about halfway. So again, the Simpit Oval Series race here at Charlotte. Tight chicane. Very little curve there. I feel like in the NASCAR, you probably don't want to take them curves quite as heavily as you might do in like something like a Mazda. You guys know what I drive. Alright, let's back ourselves out of the car once again and take ourselves a look-see back as the first pitting cars start to come out of the pits next to the leaders here. That's Lonnie Jameson coming out as Tony Morano Jr. has to pass him, and Wayne Roberts going to be on the inside here. Imagine Lonnie leaving lots of space. Can't really help where you're coming out. You just got to deal with it as you do. David Climber, 4th position here. And Sean Cole, 2.5 seconds back. Sean this time running slower than Climber. So he's not making up the gap. I believe I saw a 24.8 out of Climber, and that was a 25.0 out of Sean there. Getting close to the halfway mark, so I'm sure these guys are starting to think about pitting. I don't know if they'll try to push it longer or go for a half and half though. Tires on this car is definitely a concern. I'm also not sure what the fuel strategy is, so that could be a thing as well. Put ourselves back up to our leader. We are a little bit closer now. Well, not our leader, but 2nd and 3rd, with Lonnie having been next to him when they came out there. Morano now with a 2-second gap behind Michkowski. So it looks like Mark came out by about a half a second to a second out of that pitting situation. Wayne Roberts in about a second behind Tony though. Tony running in 12th position there. 1 lap down, having pit lap 11. I wonder if he'll go for 3. Hence, 2 laps instead of just 2 pits rather instead of just 1. It's a possibility with these guys just to keep the tires going nicely. You can see it. It might not be a bad idea for some of the guys that are a little more hesitant for learning. David Climber holding 4th position up to the 25. 376 that lap. Sean Cole with a 25.253, so slightly faster. Still managing to stay behind and catch up bit by bit. He's now only separated by about 3 seconds. With half the race left to go, something could definitely happen here. And pits, of course, as well. Moving ourselves back. Joe Hildinger in 6th. David Blair, 36 car. 7th position, up 2. Brendan Skinner up 6. That's our mover for the day. The 959, 8th position. Oh, getting a little bit wild. Just for the fans, just showing. Yeah, I'm not sure on the fuel at all. I don't know what they limited it to, but the lap, I feel like 15 is probably where most of them are going to go in. We're going to see here right away. Jerry Watson, 9th position, up 1. Christopher Melton up 3 into our top 10 now. But Lonnie pit early, so that could be changed. Brandon Carl, oh my. Still holding 11th, but had a moment there. Sorry, Brandon, you hate to see it. And we're back up with our leader, Mr. Michkowski. go. I want to take a look at the times. Fall off seems to be about a second and a half so far. Sean Cole a tenth slower than Climber on that one, so we're not going to see any action there. We have Wayne Roberts pretty close to Tony, though. We could see something happening here. A small mistake from Tony could definitely give it to him, as with Climber and Cole here. So the top 5 and the top 3 are not fully secure just yet, because you know if you battle, that our boys here will be slowing down quick Climber and Cole in striking position for that podium. We go lap 15. Mark Michkowski has indeed opted to pit. Morano staying out with, sorry, switched the cameras on me there. With Roberts in behind him. That looked like Climber going into the pits. Be able to watch on the standings there. We'll keep an eye on our new leader, A. Morano Jr. Well done, Tony. Holding it in there and doing well. Yeah, man, there's indeed a lot of damage. A lot of damage. We're about halfway, Jason, halfway, so we're at 15 laps left this time by here. 16 of 30 we are on at the moment. Taking a look, it looks like Mark Michkowski, David Climber, Joe Hildinger, Sean Cole, and David Blair all opted to pit. Gonna keep an eye on our leaders here because Morano now leading, but Roberts holding close behind. This can either cause them to slow down and end up actually, or it could help them. If Morano's holding strong and Roberts isn't pushing and they're having draft together, it might actually help them in the long run because the laps of Michkowski all alone up at the front there might be a little bit slower once we get towards mid-stint here on the second stint tires. We're going to watch now, see if Tony decides to go in or does he decide to stay out once again. Looks like everybody but Skinner and Melton have pit through the field now, apart from our two guys that we're watching here, Wayne Roberts and Morano. Morano does opt to go in. Wayne Roberts now going to stay out for a third lap beyond the half. We're going to see how that works. I'm curious. I'm not actually sure. You know, you would think the earlier you pit, the better. I would imagine, but you know, between traffic and stuff like that, you never know. Roberts has clean air. He knows he's going to come out in traffic, most likely, so might just be opting to keep it. Lonnie Jameson in behind him, though, with a little bit fresher tires, having pit lap 11. Catches the wall a little bit on the exit there. That's going to hurt. At least he had some traction. Unfortunate for him. I'd imagine so, Kyle. Yeah, I'd imagine so. I can't drive these cars with a hoot. That's why I cast this. If you can't do, teach. And if you can't teach, cast, right? So I do a little bit of each. I'm hoping that I learn a little bit more. Alright, Wayne Roberts going in. Let's move ourselves back. Lonnie Jameson's going to get some positions here, I'd imagine, with everything that's happened. And I believe we'll see Skinner and Melton pit this lap. Following our leader, once again, Mark Michkowski. So we did see, once again, GG's for Tony Morano Jr. and Wayne Roberts for touching the lead. Good job holding on, staying close enough, guys. Mark Michkowski now is grabbing it back as we come through our final chicane. This is going to be closing of lap 17 of 30. Moving on to 18, just about 2/3 of the way through the race. Again, we're at the Simpit Oval Series, and we're here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Admiral. How we doing, Morano, as we come through? He ran a 120.683 on that last lap. Move ourselves back. We have Morano coming out in that 323, right ahead of Climber. We did see a battle here. We've definitely seen a shake-up. Climber and Sean gaining positions on Wayne Roberts through the pit cycles. Joe Hildinger now in 6th position. Oops, sorry for that. The car sometimes gets in the way with the way they're spaced out. David Blair is our man now running in 7th with Brandon Skinner, Christopher Melton now pitting, so that's going to put Gary Watson up into 8th position. Lonnie Jameson 9th. And there we go. Mark Michkowski, here we go. It's a road course. I don't think he even joined, did he? I believe he was like, nope, road course. And I understand that. Through turn 1, Mark Michkowski into the 120.5 on that lap. I suppose if there was any time to take an in-car, this would be it. Follow through Mark as he's running at his prime right now. And brand new fresh, he's just warmed up after his first 3 or 4 laps here. Probably, obviously trying to keep his tires, I'd imagine, for the first bit, just getting them warmed up. Now trying to put some distance on these guys with his fastest lap of the race. Coming back onto the oval. Man, is he looking good. Looking good, looking smooth. The regular cockpit as we come through. The bus stop. Lonnie Jameson in sight ahead. It's going to be a lap car, and lap cars could shake things up a bit here. Gotta get this switch direction. Brandon Skinner, Christopher Melton, 10th and 11th. I want to take a quick look at our leader, or at our podium battle here. Yeah, this top 5 now is a lot closer. Wayne Roberts in 5th position. Sean Cole, 4th. David Clymer, 3rd. And Tony running in 2nd. Tony does seem to be gaining a pretty good bit of time. Mark Michkowski coming in with a 121.670, so was a little bit slower on that one than his best lap. So he has started slowing down now. Tires are going to start being a thing. Management will be done. Let's move ourselves back. Brandon Skinner again and Christopher Melton running 10th and 11th. And it looks like Melton's running a little slower, so we shouldn't see a battle out of them. Tony coming through here on the infield with a 121.493. Actually a couple tenths faster than Mark, but there's a good distance between them, so it's going to take a lot for that to shake out. David Clymer with a 22.1 and Sean Cole with a 22.1. One's got a 9.4 and one's got a 0.1. Cole's making time. Let's see if he can get up into the podium here. He's going to be sniffing for it. Wayne Roberts in behind him. Now down 3, unfortunately, to 5th position. So now there it is definitively. Probably should have pit as early as possible. The opt to stay out there definitely hurt him. If we look at our pits, Michkowski pit lap 15. Tony pit lap 16. Clymer and Sean in on 15. Wayne Roberts in 17. Hildinger, Blair, Watson, Jameson, Skinner, and Melton. Those are 15, 11, and 17. We'll have to see how that works out for Lonnie, if he actually manages to stay out or not. If he's been managing his tires well, he might be able to just hold it for that extra lap. All good, Kyle. Thank you very much for coming to hang out, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, turn 1. Sean Cole coming in with a 123.1 to Clymer's 22.9, so not making distance on this one. And Roberts is in behind Cole, only slower by 2 tenths, but well in draft, so it's not going to shake anything up here. That's our top 5 we're watching the battles for now. Wayne Roberts, get inside and take a look as he chases down Cole. And I mean, you're always nervous when you're driving with Sean too. It's like you get in behind him and you're like, don't want to kill him on stream. Oh, Clymer into the wall. Gonna drop 2 positions. Unfortunately for Clymer, just going wide and getting loose ahead of these guys. You hate to see that. Wayne Roberts now looking for an opportunity. That's gonna put Clymer down to 5th position. Sean Cole up 3rd and Wayne Roberts in 4th. That's Cole on our podium. We are 2/3 through the race. 10 laps left to go, these guys. A little bit of a wider line. I don't know if that's tires or draft, but Roberts is coming up fairly well. Hanging tight like that, staying nice and close. There's only 3 tenths separated the 2. This is the battle to watch for the end here, boys. Roberts with a slightly tighter line. Sean Cole with looking to be a slightly better exit. A little bit wider on entry there. There you go. Cole takes off, but Roberts still holding it up tight with a better mid corner. Primer now pushing behind. You can see it back there. Just doing his best to catch up. As we move on to the oval, Wayne Roberts in the draft of our man in the 39, Sean Cole. Old Tinkle, if you will. Through the bus stop, 5'10" separating them. Good entrance for Wayne. Sean getting out a little bit better, using more of the track though. Still in draft is Roberts though as we come through, and we know that Roberts is opting to hold a tighter line. Sean looks like he's pulling for tire saving here, knowing that Roberts doesn't quite have enough time to get into it. Imagine trying to be safe. You can always go check it out and ask him if you'd like. Again, twitch.tv/Simpit Live. I'm keeping my eye on that relative as well. David Clymer only a second behind. Close out lap 22, on to lap 23 for the infield here. Let's move ourselves back onto the outside of the cars here. Wayne Roberts in the sandwich with Clymer forcing himself back in there if he can, and Cole trying to hold him off. Now, if I was Cole, I'd be trying to back probably Roberts into Clymer every time Wayne tried to pass me. It'd be very frustrating to be behind me right now with 10 laps to go in a race like this. Oh, here we go. Roberts in the inside of the oval. Sean just letting him take it. Gonna fall behind as we move into the bus stop. Sean Cole losing out on the podium, down to 4th position now. Over Tony. Those two have checked out. Goodbye, Mark. Goodbye, Tony. Congratulations on your first and second place. You keep her clean, and you got this. Wayne Roberts hard on the apex for that chicane, bouncing the car all over the place. Sean Cole in behind him. Conservative on those ones, but quite hard on that one as he's pushing to keep up. 123.7 to Wayne Roberts, 22.6 on that lap. Not 22.6 actually. I mean, he's in draft, so it makes sense, but not much, because he passed him pretty much right away. Mark that. So we actually could see Roberts catch up. Maybe. Only 6 laps to go. We come through the elevated section on the infield to get ready to go back onto the oval. I'm going to move our car back up to our leader here. Mark Michkowski running in first position. Looking good. Looking fine. Pole and first all the time. Well done, Mark. Even on the road course. Brendan Skinner 9th and 10th for Christopher Melton. Lonnie Jameson is in 11th. Those tires are definitely affecting him now. You can see him dropping off. We have Tony in second position. Wayne Roberts followed close behind by Sean Cole. David Clymer looking to make up some time after that little touch to the wall. Joe Hildinger in 6th. David Blair in 7th. And Jerry Watson in 8th position. Last man on the lead lap, Jerry Watson. That's 11 cars that are still running. Unfortunately, we have lost a few. You hate to see it, but, cheers to our guys. Brandon Carl, Rhonda Carinci, Chris Generelli, Matt Wagner, and Rob Melnick, all you guys for coming out and at least touching the tires to the asphalt. Let's move ourselves back up to our little battle here between 3rd and 4th. They're starting to get up on some lap traffic. Very short amount of race left to go. These guys get caught up in that lap traffic, and if that lap traffic is fighting, we have Brandon, Chris, and Melton. They're not separated by a heck of a lot. They could end up together if, Wayne passes one of them and slows them down a little bit, so on and so forth. We'll have to see what happens. Now a second and a half separating Wayne and Sean. Sean's still holding 4th position. Clymer back into 5th position, 3.5 seconds back on pole. So he's definitely lost a lot of speed with that small wall touch. I'd imagine now just looking to keep it going for the last few laps. Come through the chicane, we'll take a look at our times and see how everybody's doing so far. Mark Michkowski crossing the line with a 124.252. Anthony Morano Jr. with a 124.111. Wayne Roberts is indeed still holding the faster times right now with a 123.199. Sean Cole 124.2 to Climbers 124.715. Joe Hildinger with a 125.923 is bringing us back to 6th position. As we wait a moment for David Blair and Jerry Watson to cross the line. Let's go ahead and do one of these here. Actually, not bad. This is the blimp camera, and it's a little bit messed up at this track. I'm gonna grab the roll bar there. Things are organized a little better so they go a little more fluidly, but I still have to get used to where they are. Oh, we do have an incident. Wayne Roberts into the wall. Let's go back actually and take a look at that. Was there contact between the lap car, or was that just him spinning out? No, too much curb, I believe. Ronnie's getting on the outside. Comes through and just gets a little slidey and a little too hard. Unfortunately, that's going to drop Roberts down to 4th and give Clymer an opportunity to gain that position back. Roberts now down 2 from his start. You hate to see that. Let's take a quick look here. Sean Cole now is in the podium, and we're going to have to watch and see if Wayne's going to lose enough speed off of that to keep him back, or whether he's going to be able to hold that 4th position or not. Lonnie's going to be getting pressure from all 3 of these guys right away, so we'll follow them one by one. Here we go. Sean Cole moving up behind Lonnie as we come through the elevated section in the final turn before the oval. It's a very scary left-handed corner. It doesn't look scary when you're watching it, but driving it is terrifying. All right, half a second separates them at the moment. So Sean Cole in Lonnie's draft. Lonnie ends up actually with a cut there. Sean Cole going to move around on the outside as well. I wonder if Lonnie did that intentionally, just to be safe. It is a possibility. Well, Wayne Roberts, 1.6 behind Sean now. Lonnie Jameson on the outside. There's Clymer. He's 2 seconds behind Roberts at the moment. Still 3+ for Sean. For now, we'll keep an eye on Roberts. Coming to a close on 27 laps. Here we go. 24.0 for Mark Michkowski. Tony's got a 25.6. Sean Cole with a 24.750. And Wayne Roberts in with a 24.725 still, so he might actually still be able to hold it. We'll have to keep our eye on it. David Clymer in with a 24.922. Unfortunately, definitely going to be staying back if he keeps that up. Joe Hildinger in behind him with a 24.812. But he is a good bit back, so I'm pretty sure Clymer's pretty well held on that top 5. If he keeps this up. Roberts still with a chance to move back onto that podium, though. Let's keep an eye on him here as he chases down our man Sean Cole. Back onto the roval. Sean's still holding a little bit wider of a line. I wonder if that's what's hindering him. He's saving tires, but he's going slower. I wonder. Speculation, of course, but could be a thing. Again, you guys can take a look. You can see what he's thinking, and no more than me. Twitch.tv/Simpit Live. Yeah, he's looking good and smooth here. Like, they're both looking clean. Unfortunately, Wayne getting stuck in that position. I'm sure he was just scared of having Lonnie on the inside. He wasn't exactly sure whether or not Lonnie was letting him by or whatnot, that kind of thing. You know, often we try to be out of the way during the way and the other. Hello, Chris. Yeah, Twitch is just better. I don't disagree. I don't mind YouTube, but I'm not a fan. When it comes to the streaming experience. Much better for recorded content, but for streaming, not so much. Definitely making up time. We're going to have to look at the times and see how it goes here. Sean Cole holding him off fairly well, keeping his pace up, but Robert's not as affected by that wall touch as we might have thought. Heimer's still falling farther behind at the moment. He's still 3.5 seconds back or more, so I'm thinking he's going to stay there. So he's still 6 seconds ahead of these guys. Listening to the sound and watching it happen for a moment. Here we go. Wayne Roberts in close behind as we come out of the oval. Sean does have a better run, but he's going to be holding wider here. Roberts going to be tucking into the draft. This is it. Lap 30, bros. Here we go. We're crossing the line one last time. We have a bit of an accident ahead. Brandon Skinner's all over the track. That's going to cause Sean to have to check up. Let's see what happens here. This might actually shake things up if Brandon does manage to get out of the way without having to worry about these guys. Here we go. Wayne Roberts now 6/10 behind, and I believe that is it, my friends. If we move ourselves, up onto the front, Mark Michkowski crossing the line for the final time with the lead. That's Tony in second position now. Sean Cole is holding third. Well done, Sean, on the podium. Good to see it. Wayne Roberts going to be in our fourth position. David Clymer with fifth. Joe Hildinger going to hold out sixth. And David Blair going to hold seventh with ease. That's the last of the guys on our lead lap. We'll take a look at the leaderboard in just a moment so we can make sure we've got everybody counted appropriately. Let's move our man Mark onto the screen as we watch. So I'm sure he'll do some donuts and things. You guys know how Mark can be. For his pole qualify and his lead and domination here at Charlotte. Gotta love it. Well done, Mark. Well done. Good win. Good win and good times. Clean racing from everybody today as far as we saw. No car contacts or anything like that. Couple little mess ups on people's own accords, but that happens. And there's Michkowski with the lead. Well done, Mark. Well done. Let's take a look now at our leaderboard. Everybody will have had a chance to cross the finish line. So we can now look and see how everything went here. Mark Michkowski, obviously, with our win. This was the Simpit Oval Series Charlotte Motor Speedway road course, and he is our winner. Same guy every race. Yeah, of course. Hopefully we get some more competition with him. We'll have to see what happens. Second place, A. Morano Jr. doing real well. Tony always races well, as he does good on the road courses and the ovals. It's nice to see him managing to hold second place. Sean Cole with a heck of a move, doing real well in third place, rounding out the podium. Manages to hold off Wayne after Wayne has a small accident towards the end there. Heck yeah, Sean. Well played. Wayne Roberts in 4th position. David Clymer in 5th. Again, sad to see him touch the wall there with a small nick that caused him to drop back. Joe Hildinger in 6th. David Blair in 7th. Brandon Skinner in 8th. 1 lap down. Lonnie Jameson 1 lap down in 9th. And rounding out our top 10 is Jerry Watson. The rest of the guys on the field, we have Christopher Melton, Brandon Carl, Ronald Carinci, Chris Generelli, and Matt Wagner and Rob Melnick opted to not start this one. But thank you guys all for coming out. Much appreciated. I know, right? Thanks, you. I appreciate you. Yeah, he specifically put on road courses so that people would have a chance to beat him, and then he beats everybody on the road course. And coincidentally, on this one, the wrong layout was set up. So some people practiced on a different layout. So Mark won this one, but he changed the layout right before the race. Told everybody to join a lobby that started 5 minutes later. Conspiracies? Maybe some conspiracies? Talk about it in the Discord. Speaking of which, you guys, there should be a link down below for that. If there isn't, you guys know how to contact me. I'll make sure you have it. And that's it, bros. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. I appreciate you. I will message in Discord shortly to congratulate the guys and let you guys know what's going on for the rest of the evening over in our world. This has been the Simpit Oval Series broadcast for our Friday night Charlotte Oval Motor Speedway on the road course. I don't know why I said oval. My bad. This is the Simpit. I'm BaBaBoothie. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, sub, and share to help support what Sean does over on the Simpit, and what I'm attempting to do is help him. So, if you have the time, drop a like, do a share. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you again next week.